Seton Hall has been very important to me in my life. In fact, if it wasn't for Seton Hall, I wouldn't be where I am today. But I did get involved both in the Ever Forward campaign, which I was very proud of. We did a lot of good stuff in raising money. But I also am on Board of Regents, have been for the last 13 years. You look at the reputation of Seton Hall over the last 12, 14 years. In fact, the Middle States Review Board indicated that Seton Hall is probably a better school than it was 10 years ago. You look at the progress we've made in terms of the reputation of the school. The law school, for example, is really one of the top-ranked law schools in the country. Business school is within the top 100. School of Diplomacy. So when you look at all our accomplishments over this period of time, it makes you feel good. Well, I worked for a company called Geigy at the time. It's a Swiss company. And the Swiss really wanted a sense of control. It originated from Europe. There weren't really very many professional ad agencies at that time. And the Swiss had a very strong feeling about design and cleanliness of layouts and type. In fact, I spent quite a bit of time in Switzerland learning the Swiss way. I was fortunate to run the agency for the simple reason we had tremendous talent. I think about the number of Swiss designers I worked with over the years that were really world-class. I think about a Gottfried Honecker, a Jörg Schaub, or a Fred Troller. These designers were truly brilliant. And to be able to control the whole process where you originate with the marketing strategy, the marketing plan, and then go right into the creative execution, had a lot of advantages, particularly when you have a talented group of people. These people were just very, very good. In fact, we had one designer, his name was Marcus Lowe, who actually designed the typeface Helvetica. And that's a typeface we used in all of the Geigy promotional pieces for years. What was interesting about the Geigy look, if you want to call it that, it came out of the Bauhaus School of Design, so it was a very clean sense of proportion, so to speak. And you could go anywhere in the world, and Geigy was an international company, so their design was around the world. But no matter where you went, you could always pick up a Geigy piece and know it was from Geigy. Entrepreneurs, generally, a lot of them fly by the seat of their pants or have a feeling that they want to do something. And sometimes, 50% of the times they're right, but 50% of the times you can be wrong. And what you really want to do is cut the odds down. And the way to do that is to go out, do your marketing research, do your homework. On top of that, I found a great source of information is from your salespeople or your marketing people that you're working with. And that to me is critical. You have to talk to your customer. Once you do that, then you can start formulating a plan around that. That's really, truly the foundation. And it gives you the insight, I think, to make a good decision. Well, that's a great honor. I really appreciated that. To me, it was very meaningful because basically there's a screening process. There are 36 senior pharmaceutical advertising people that are part of a review committee that select various candidates. And the candidates are generally, actually, 2 recipients or 3 recipients each year. It's been ongoing since around the middle 90s. Some wonderful people have been selected, such as Dr. Sackler, Ralph Rosenthal, Bill Froelich, Bob Becker. These are people who are really legends in our business. So to be part of that group, to me, was very, very meaningful. Don't ask me why I'm involved with 4. I think I'm a glutton for punishment, but I enjoy the challenge. To me, it's very exciting. And besides, I don't think my wife would want me home too often. So it gives me a chance to get out of the house. But being serious for a minute, to start from scratch, I mentioned before it's an adrenaline surge, and that's basically really what it is. And it's a lot of fun, and I think it's fun to go back into your experiences. And I think this comes with age, where you can get into a discussion, and then all of a sudden you can dial back into your experience to come up with something that makes sense. And then what you really have to do is kind of coach or guide or suggest. There's a couple of companies I'm working with right now where I really feel I've helped them a great deal, and giving some guidance more than anything else. And I think that's the role you put in as you get a little older in life. When I was younger, I would just say, "Let's do it," do it, and that's the end of it. But when you're a consultant, you really have to be a good salesman and crystallize your ideas so they really do make sense. When you're put in charge, you take charge. And you take charge in terms of the responsibility and the results and the great feeling you have when you see the results materialize into something that's realistic. It's exciting. I have to say that to you, and I can still remember my mother used to say to me, "Bob, you don't know what it's like to be in the kitchen until you're behind the stove." And I think that's it's true, and when you're put in charge of a project, then you take responsibility to see it come to fruition. To me, that's the exciting part of being an entrepreneur, if you want to call it that. But you really have to take ownership. When you're in school, taking various courses, you really want to understand the fundamentals. You want to capture the essence of what's being taught, so you carry that with you. And then I would also suggest taking internships, as many as you can, because that will give you the real-world experience you need. And in many cases, the people you're working for can size you up in terms of what you're all about. And if they see you're sincere and working hard, a lot of these internships will lead to a job right off the bat. Hope is not a strategy. Hard work and due diligence is. And that's what I'm really saying to students. You've got to go out there and put your time in. And put your time in so that you understand the business, you can make a contribution. And that's really what it's all about. How do you help that company grow? I talked before about working hard, doing the best you can, doing something you like. I think that's all very important. But there's no substitute for honesty and integrity. Your character and reputation are extremely important. And you don't have to compromise those values. And generally, if you keep to those standards, everything seems to work out, but you don't have to compromise them. You cannot lose your reputation. To me, that's your being. That's what it's all about. And I think students today have to realize it's great to get an education, it's great to work hard, but you certainly do not want to lose your integrity, you don't want to lose your honesty, you want to keep your character, and you want to keep your reputation.